Powered by the Montana Television Network. The 5:30 news continues on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Technology is everywhere these days, and everyone has access to it, including toddlers. They have a lot of screen time these days.
Even though they seem to catch on fast, is having a tech-savvy toddler a good thing? MTN's Victoria Hill goes on special assignment to find out what the experts are saying about advantages and disadvantages.
With the most brilliant color ever.
Since the introduction of television, parents have been regulating screen time.
They're so real you'll think you're there.
Around the 90s, the popularity of home computers grew, and now there's tablets and smartphones.
Here we go.
That's where Generation Alpha comes in, known as the generation born with an iPad in its hand.
Things like painting and coloring and cutting and dancing and singing and listening to music and climbing and throwing balls and kicking balls. That's the stuff that kids need to be doing.
Dr. Natalie Bowman is an associate professor of educational theory and practice at MSUB. She sees parents using smart devices in ways that aren't exactly beneficial to toddlers.
If we get into the realm of just using it to occupy our time or to entertain, especially with kids, that's not the best use of their time.
The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends babies and toddlers 18 months and younger stay away from screen time. And for toddlers 2 and older, they should just be limited to 1 hour a day. But the reality is, parents sometimes rely on screen time as a distraction as they juggle housework and other daily responsibilities.
A survey conducted by parenting website babycenter.com revealed 2 and 3 babies and 4 and 5 toddlers have some form of screen time. Overall, as many as 1 in 5 watch more than 3 hours a day. Pediatricians are seeing some damaging effects on vision, sleep, weight, fine motor skill development, and mental health.
Especially if screens are used as the only form of comfort. They might not be able to learn how to emotionally self-regulate or cope on their own.
With the advancement of technology, parents might be putting too much faith into screen time.
We like to think that we have these apps that can teach these skills to kids. And so if we're handing them this device and they're learning their colors or something like that, then this is a good thing. The reality is that if we're interacting with colors and talking about them, they're also going to learn their colors. And that's probably a better way to do it.
Screen time could be a good thing if it's used in the right way.
How do we use this as a tool, again, to help us to be creative, to make connections, to learn information? And used in that way, they're really a good thing. Used just for entertainment or to occupy, probably not.
High-quality programming is another option.
So not overly distracting from the real world, something that would encourage what they call dual participation, where a parent or an older sibling could engage with the app and the child and their surrounding environment.
When it comes to the growing mind of a toddler, back to basics is best.
And I think that we have to remember that even though technology has its place, both in our classrooms and in our world, it can never replace good, high-quality interactions between teachers and children or parents and children.
Victoria Hill, MTN News, Billings.
And the suggestion is that you find apps that allow parents to set a hard stop, which turns off the app after a selected amount of time, so the child learns screen time isn't an ongoing experience.
Oh, the constant debate
It's
in
a big
parenting
debate
these days. All right, well, still ahead, Erin says we have some snow and wind in the forecast and some travel impacts for the weekend. She breaks it down for us coming up.
And later in sports, Don says the Lady Grizz are ready to return to their home court after a couple of tough losses on the road. That's coming up in sports here on KPAX and KAJ.